I don't believe this heifer or the quack they had in this doc. She's a liar, a proven convicted liar, as the FBI agent said.
Get it, don't be timid when you in it, apply that. Love up on it, give along, need it. I don't want no trip, baby, say like it.
My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? We are diving into something a little bit different in terms of the uploads. This is normally something we would do in a live discussion, and we still might, but I had to come back because we need to talk Sherri Papini, y'all. We need to talk this raggedy heifer, Sherri Papini, because I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. Diabolical work, you guys. Let's get into it. So they have just recently dropped a new documentary about Sherri Papini. And if you don't know who Sherri Papini is, there are a couple of different docs, and I'll put them here on the screen and I'll link them below the name so that you'll be able to reference them. But basically, the Sherri Papini is like the real life Gone Girl, right? And if you remember anything about Gone Girl, it was a story of a woman who was dissatisfied in her marriage. So she plots, plans, and schemes and fakes her kidnapping, her abduction. She stays gone for so long. And as soon as she feels as though her husband has paid the ultimate price, she decides that she can re-enter back into the world and things will be, just as they were before, but better, right? Because she's made this impact. And this is kind of the story here. Sherri Papini was out, I think, midday, and she was running, which is something that she does, right? She was in shape with the perfect ideal family, the 2 kids, the dog, the husband, Keith, living her best life. She goes out for a run that she never returns from. Keith finds out when the kids haven't been picked up from daycare. And that begins kind of the wild search of where she's gone for 22 days. And she is just amazingly found on the side of the road with a big chain around her waist and brought home. And we're to think that she was abducted by 2 Latino women, because that's the lie that she made up to disturb race relations and all manner of evil. But this is something people have done for forever. Sherri Papini Caught in the Lie. And so this is a 4-part docuseries that was released by Investigation Discovery, which airs on Max or wherever you have Investigation Discovery, also Philo, and I'll have a link for those as well if you need a service to watch it on. And so the first 2 episodes came out last night. The second 2 will come out tonight, and I will be on top of those. But the first one is entitled Exodus, which was the same thing that was branded on her back. And the second was episode 2, I'm a Liar. And so first and foremost, as we open up with the first episode, this heifer gets up here and just all of the sanctimoniousness that you can imagine, all of the self-righteousness. You're a liar and you did this. So why do you feel like now you can get up and tell your story? Because I can. Because I can. And why not? What are you going to do about it? It's just very much this air of, I don't give a damn. I want this time to tell my story. And I don't know why this podcaster got the bright idea and felt the need for Sherri to get her 2 minutes, but hey, it makes for interesting fodder for conversation. So basically in the first episode, they're really just recapping the events. Like I said, she never comes back for her run. They find her phone, her earbuds, and a couple of strands of her hair, which she planted there. That they would know that it was her. Also want to state that this abduction and whole situation is really mirroring another event that happened to a young lady named Tara some years before in Redding, California as well. And so again, she's gone for 22 days. Throughout this time, she says she's beaten, she's starved. They said she's lost over half of her body fat, or her body weight, something like that. It was something crazy, some number that they gave as far as how she'd kind of wasted away. And she's got bruises from hockey pucks. She's been branded. She's got these deep cavernous wounds on her body, all sorts of things. She says she's been chained up from a closet. And again, these 2 Latino women are the ones that abducted her. But she doesn't want to confess against them or give evidence against them because they are the ones that helped her get back to her child, some lie she makes up, right? And so as we're sitting here, of course the husband has been really on trial in the court of public opinion up until this point, because he's the husband, and we come to find out she's told her friends that he's beat her up. Right. Come to find out, it was a incident at a friend's house where there were witnesses where he accidentally hit her with the controller or something as they were playing a game. Like, it's just the lies over and over again. She's lied on exes. She's lied on her parents. She's lied on other family members. Like, she's just lied. So we find out that, unbeknownst, I guess, to the public, the FBI is working this concurrently as the local police in Reading are working the case. And so the he's basically made besties with the detective. He's like, man, I didn't do this. Like, he's been investigated, interrogated up the wazoo. And now that she's back, there's stuff the detective knows that he doesn't know. And so again, it comes out that she was really with her ex-boyfriend in his house. She called him on the cell phone. He came, he picked her up, he took her there, and she is the one, he alleges, that asked him to do all of these things to her body because it needs to be believable, right? And he says, I didn't know what it was about. I just knew she needed to get away from her husband, and I was just kind of here to help her. Well, apparently his statement was convincing enough because the FBI said, yeah, she did it. This man is not guilty. No charges to this day have been brought against this man, but Sherri Papini was convicted. She signed a plea deal that admitted that she faked this kidnapping and everything else that went with it, right? So now, and that's basically episode 1, right? And she got this Exodus tattoo, and Exodus is a book of the Bible, and it talks about the children of Israel being delivered, right? It's their Exodus, their journey. And so I guess that's what was representative of the Exodus to her, the brand that she got. Well, now we're getting to a point, episode 2, where it's entitled I'm a Liar. So episode 1 is the background of all of everything that's happened before. Episode 2, she finally gets to talk, and she is basically saying a lot of nothing in episode 2. She's just saying the fact that she did not plan this. She was held against her will. That was true, but she has been holding on to lies. And we know you're a convicted liar. And then they bring this quack of a psychiatrist out who basically states that uh she's not lying about this. She's lied about a lot of stuff, but this she's not lying about. Sir, be FFR. Be so for real. She's learned, she's had the EDM therapy. Is that what it's called? The rapid, whatever, eye movement therapy that they do, which I was under the impression that was very investigational. And so they're going through all of that. And she's been through so many sessions that she wouldn't tell big lies anymore, because there's big and little lies. She's been lying her whole life as a defense mechanism, and that's why, but she wouldn't lie about this. Apparently tonight she's going to take a lie detector, and we're going to get to the bottom of all of that. But I mean, no. So at this point, she and her husband have divorced. Keith is like, I don't want anything to do with you. No, you really don't need time with the kids. What I was really shocked about that I didn't see in either of the other docs that I watched is that Keith's sister actually took her in after she did her time. And I believe her time was originally 18 months. I think she ended up doing 12 maybe. But she is out now and went to the sister-in-law, and the sister-in-law, up to a point, believed her, that she is kind of this perpetual victim in the situation. Again, I never want to refute somebody's lived experience, but the lies are staggering. If something comes out in these final 2 episodes that really turns my spirit in terms of her, I don't know, y'all. I'm just mad that she's getting platformed after all of this, because the strain on the resources, the the toxic nature of race relations in Reading after she said that, and Latina women being profiled as a result of her false statement. She says that's all she lied about. The ex really did this to her. And, he threatened that if she said the truth, that this would happen. Girl, we do not believe you. We don't believe you. You're a liar. You left your kids for 22 days to prove a point and got returned on Thanksgiving Day. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? You guys, again, I don't know what real information we're going to get to other than her and her quack that's defending her, but I don't think there's any defending Sherri Papini. I don't. I think the privilege, I think, I think the privilege is what's sustaining her at this point, because there's no way you have the gall and audacity to come on this here internet and basically make kind of fun of the entire situation. Like, yeah, I was caught in a lie, but I didn't lie about everything. Girl, but you can't be trusted at this point. You guys, and it's so heinous. There's so many there are so many underserved, underrepresented communities that are truly victims and are missing to this day. And the idea that she would plot, plan, and scheme her own kidnapping, waste all of those resources, get notoriety, I mean, nationwide news on her disappearance. And some of these young ladies can't even get an article online. And now you want to come back and do a 4-part series. I'm trying to stop telling people to go directly to hell, so I'm not going to say that. But God have mercy on you. I don't know how we do this, but you guys drop it in the comments. Let me know if you're familiar with this case. Drop anything I left out, and I will be back to cover parts 3 and 4 because it's something that needs to be discussed. But yeah, let me know. Or if you want something more in detail, let me know too, and we can make that happen. If you're still here, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of the things, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.